go back to our focus now. The men's parallel bars final, and here are the gentlemen who've made it into the top 8. Congratulations
Yes.
to them and good fortune to them.
We are now having the men's part. Oh, Sami Stoffy, who is the bronze medalist in the floor finals yesterday, will be competing on the finals. And we have here James Hall. Is that James Hall? I think so. It's James Hall. Also from Australia.
The top
Olympians
man
are
in the
here.
qualification round. He'll be the first to go.
We have 4 Olympians. Yes, we have 4 Olympians who are here. And from Australia, Jesse Moore.
The reigning Oceania all-around champion and top qualifier.
Wow, top qualifier sa parallel bar.
Competing shortly after his brother Luca in the vault final, Matteo Giubalini.
Matteo Giubalini, pogi in Matteo. From Ukraine.
Berepolkin of Ukraine,
Wow.
the 8th best in qualifying.
Bago lang. Sami Stoffy,
Mustafi of Great Britain, 5th best in the preliminary round.
5th best siya. James Hall.
One of the most
James
experienced
Hall.
gymnasts in the world, James Hall of the United Kingdom,
Yeah.
Great Britain, Northern Ireland, 7th best in qualifying. Might see a new
One of the best,
Nazar Cheperny of
Nazar
Ukraine,
Cheperny,
2nd
yan.
best
Magaling din siya sa vault.
qualification.
From Turkey,
Altan Doğan of Turkey,
Altan Doğan.
4th best in qualifying.
Alright.
And Kevin George Buckley of Slovenia.
Kevin George
6th
Buckley.
best in
Ayos.
preliminary
Subscribe, like, and share kay Chris RD, Gymnastics. Sayang, wala si na Carlos Yulo. Next time.
We're in for
Next year, maybe.
intriguing.
Next year, Carl Eldro Yulo might be competing here in the World Cup series. For him, because that is his debut for the as a senior. He needs to compete here para mahasa si Carl sa mga seniors. Mag-get used siya sa seniors competition.
The finalists in the men's parallel bars competition at the World Cup in Doha. Top qualifier.
So, Nasser Pony, okay, James Hall. Maybe James Hall or Sami Stoffy will be in the gold here or in the podium. Maybe when it comes to experience. But who knows? Jesse Moore can be in the podium also if he will be consistent. Matteo Giubalini also good. He is for sure Matteo Giubalini improves.
And he's right to aspire.
Was able to compete during the Olympics.
Because he's an excellent prospect. Quite a few youngsters in this field. James Hall is the elder statesman, despite still not being 30 years of age.
Wow, 30 years of age na si James Hall. Pero malakas pa rin. Awesome job. This Ukrainian parallel bar gymnast is amazing.
All of the exercises that previously required 10 counting skills are down to
Yeah,
8.
yung ating now they were going to have only 8 difficulties for parallel bars. So it will be ayan, wag naman sana mangyari yan. Diyos ko po, Ukrainian. Don't do that later.
Should not be a race to the finish. Shouldn't be a series of almost sprinted tumbling passes.
Sami Stoffy of Great Britain.
Certain skills will fall in and out of favor. Skill selection in gymnastics, as I'm sure many of you know, is dictated by the award that is given to those skills in the coda points, and sometimes adjustments are made where certain skills lose some of their difficulty value.
Oops.
As it's often called, downgrade.
Kahit when you're doing your warm-up, you should be very careful. Not because it's just a warm-up, maybe just adjust. It should be like you should be very careful, or else you will have an injury
Well,
during the
we're
warm
going
up.
to see a lot more triple back somersaults on the horizontal bar. All rather interesting. Lots to be ironed out in the wash as we go through the first full year of this.
Jesse Moore naging consistent na siya sa mga laban ng World Cup Series. Let's welcome Jesse Moore at 22 years old, galing sa Australia.
Champion of a continent. The top qualifier here.
An all-around finalist too during the Paris Olympics 2024.
First handstand.
Nice handstand, straight and straight.
Tidy there too.
Great job.
Nice geometry so far.
Nice. Nag-improve siya. Great job, Jesse Moore. Great improvement. Counting arcing lang, pero still. Wow! Nice! Awesome! That's great! Yeah, that's a very good display. Lovely display. Now, si Jesse Moore, matatalo siya if there will be other that will have more difficulty value. Kasi ang linis niya eh. Mataas na difficulty, dun siya matatalo na may mapipulido nila. It's like sila James Hall, if they will execute well their parallel bars. That's the only chance that Jesse Moore will be out of the podium. But, if they will perform other competitors, if the other competitors will not be able to compete, also execute well their difficulties, James Hall will be the gold here. Great job. I love Jesse Moore here. Great positions and great executions. Nice dismount too. Yeah, he's improving a lot.
The most recent World Cup. Absolutely right.
Awesome job.
.933 in
wow.
The preliminary round.
How much it? 13.933? Not that's a podium medal. Kailangan 14.5, 14.3, 14.4. Yan ang mga podium scores eh. 14.1. It's a good one. Bonus 0.1. Oh, 5.1 difficulty. There are 5.4 and 6 below 6.0 difficulty there. Yeah, a contentions for might be. Kung hindi mag-perform well ng execution sila mga kalaban niya. Now, Matteo Giubilini now, an Olympian too. Yeah.
The Swiss have produced some wonderful parallel bars gymnasts over the years.
Yes. Nag-adjust lang. Deductions for that. Ang ganda din ng lines niya, oh. He improves well since the Paris Olympics.
Very smooth work on this apparatus.
Yeah, great smooth work.
Leg form is excellent.
Yeah, very excellent leg form. Feet are glued together. Toes are well pointed. Yun lang. But it's still good. Still good for Matteo Giubilini.
The great Giubilini name. I'm sure many of you know that his father competed at the games in Barcelona. cost from that landing deduction, or that landing stabilisation, I should say.
Yan kaya score ni Mateo. Sorry, kumakain ako. 13.7. Sayang. Dahil sa dismount eh. Pero ang galing. Balda, Mateo. From Ukraine. Kasi yung Ukrainian na gymnast magaling sa parallel bar, nag-shift na ng nationality.
Won 2 silver medals at the national championships last year. First time that he's been in a World Cup final.
Nice line. Sayang. Nag-bending. There's an arm bending. Pero he can do more. I believe in his capability. He can clean this up on the next again. Yeah. So wow, great dismount. Plus 0.1.
It will cost those two.
Yeah.
Almost moves in 2 halves up into handstand. The first part, the pause.
2 halves. So 0.2. I love his hair here. Great hair too.
Great experience for him making this final.
He can be one of the great gymnasts for the parallel bars too. He just need to compete to get used with the pressure.
Set of gymnasts to come through and step up.
Yung mga those the veteran Ukrainian gymnasts are not anymore.
Fascinating at the beginning.
The Olympic medalist for parallel bars has shifted now to different nationality. Hungary, I think.
Which apparatus?
I forgot his name. Ilya Kovton. Ilya Kovton is now representing other country in Europe.
He's a little bent in the knees as he pikes.
Maybe 13.7 or 13.2, 13.3, maybe like that. 13.0.
Oh, well done.
But still good.
Is well up from qualifying by about 2/3 of a mark.
Some is toffee now. I'm eating this one.
Now we go to the last
Walnut.
gymnast in the first half. This is Sam Mustalfi of Great Britain.
Bronze medalist in the floor.
It was a pleasure to watch yesterday, taking bronze on floor with a very clean performance. Fifth best in
Nice handstand, Sam. Siya lang, hindi lang ganun ka pulido yung ano dyan, yung handstand. Nandiyan din. Must be more polish.
Iconic tip-out skill.
Good job.
His teammate James Hall watching on, giving him plenty of encouragement. So much to like about this young gymnast's work. Very good.
Very good.
Mustalfi.
Great job, Sam. Maybe 14.0 or 14.1 or 13.9.
The gymnastics world is going to see a lot more of him in the next few years. He's got through his undergraduate studies. He was a sports scholar at the University of Nottingham. It's a difficult institution to gain admission to.
Wow.
One one of the finest in the country.
Hmm.
That part of his life is now concluded. His focus is completely on elite level gymnastics and the Olympiad. And he is going to really want to impose himself upon the
This is great
national
job for
selectors.
Sami Stoffy. Nice turns. Yun lang, nag-bend lang siya eh. He needs to polish
He's
those.
going to be going full steam ahead to prove that there's a place for him in the teams. And that's why performances like this at World Cup level are so important. Picking up scores
Great job,
on
Sam.
the international stage is a very different matter from
Yung ano
doing
lang,
it at
pag
the
sayang,
championships.
di niya
And
ko
to
yung
compete in national
0.1
championships,
bonus.
it's just different. All gymnasts will say that.
Let's wait for the score. Oh, 13.233.
13.233.
You really have to.
Huge
So
difficulty.
Jesse Moore,
It was
my
a very
chance.
clear performance from an execution perspective, and that puts him into second place at the halfway stage.
Now we have James Hall, the veteran gymnast. Second sets of gymnasts are practicing now or doing a warm up. Masarcher Pony. Sorry, I'm eating my dinner. This is a walnut and cashew. Apparatus World Cup Doha is one of the most awaited World Cup because they have a good footages, good production. Carlos Schulz is always here before, but now he is just resting. Maybe next year we'll be seeing him here with Carl Alderulo, and I'm excited about it. Ay, ano mangyayari sana yun? Ang pogi ng Ukrainian. So in Qatar, there are lots of nationalities because it's a melting pot for expats to work. Lots of expatriates are working in Qatar. Oh, may mga bata din. Indians, wala masyadong Indians.
The final warm-ups being concluded in the second half of this men's parallel bars final. We'll get the action restarted any moment now with James Hall. What a place to begin, to reacquaint ourselves with the parallel bars with one of the most experienced British gymnasts out there.
Fifth finalist here is James Hall.
He's assisting in the preparations.
Nung Olympic pa lang, I've seen Jesse Moore that he's having a very clean routine already. Very clean routine for Jesse Moore. And it's very good for him.
Taking his time to make sure everything is just so.
Great improvement.
The experience to know how important that is.
James Hall. So, kailangan
From
maging
Great
maayos ang
Britain,
execution.
an Olympian,
Great job.
hugely successful gymnast with
Smooth
world and
transitions.
European honours.
Ay, sayang. Yung hands na, di naayos. Adjustment, deduction. Ouch!
He's done amazingly to rescue that. Wow,
Good job.
incredible save.
Muntik na. Wow. Arcing, ako po.
Slightly overarched.
Mayroon po siyang ginagawa niya eh. Yon, great
That
job.
was a very good dismount. He was a touch low, but he sprung back up.
Yeah.
Years of experience evident in that performance. It's wonderful to
Mahirap
see
eh.
James Hall back in competition.
Yung hindi ganun kalinis.
We so seldom get to see him at
Pero
World
still.
Cups. He did a lot of the old all-around at World Cups back in the day. He won a bronze medal in Milwaukee in 2020. He's only won one Apparatus World Cup medal. That was a silver on floor in Varna in
Great
Bulgaria
job,
in 2015. But
James
he's won
Hall.
so much at the top level, continentally and at world level. In qualification, he performed an uprise straddle salto with a half turn.
Kaya may mga elbow bending si James Hall. That will be a deductions for him.
One of the most amazing moments was how he saved the arch of the back. As we look at the straddle salto there.
Delikado yun.
But as I was saying, that incredible overarch, I mean, something that feels appropriate to mention because the European Championships of Acrobatic Gymnastics are going on right as we speak. And that sort of static hold is very common in acrobatic gymnastics. It's far from desirable in artistic gymnastics, and he saved it and brought it back to a regular handstand incredibly well. I think 99 out of 100 gymnasts would be off the apparatus there.
Blees? Wow. What you're eating, Blees? It's good. It's a good food.
Started enjoying your crisps.
They're Africans too. I support.
Well, whoever you're supporting, great to have your company wherever in the world you call home for the Doha World Cup of Artistic Gymnastics. Cairo is the final.
Kids are amazing. I think they are Filipinos.
And that's coming up next week. Then we're into World Challenge Cup season. Varna and Koper in May. June is Tashkent. Also, a lot of the continental championships happening around that sort of time.
Yeah.
Paris and Sombate in September. And then
James
it's
Hall now.
Destination Jakarta for the World Championships in October. Looking forward to it. I'm sure you are too.
That will be the score. 12.866.
12.866.
There you are.
Quite a few execution deductions, but his difficulty is way up from.
Well, now we have here Nasser Chiporni can challenge the podium of Jesse Moore.
We have now the gymnast who was second in qualifying, Nazar Chiponi, with a score of 13.9. He was very close to Jesse Moore in qualification, but Moore has pulled away at the start of this final with a 14.1. So let's see how Chiponi responds. He won a silver medal on the parallel bars. at the
Awesome.
first World Cup of the season in Cottbus.
Wow.
Handstand
Great job.
Single
Pero di niya masyadong nahawakan na matagal yung one handstand single rail.
Cleanliness. Skills being delivered and hit first time of
Masyadong mabilis lang ang transition niya.
First Babsar
But it's still good.
seen in this final.
So clean. Very clean. Yun!
And his dismount requires minimal adjustment for stability.
Nice one.
Execution in qualifying was a score of 8.3 for Nazar Chipurni.
Kailangan at least 8.5 executions.
Very competitive display, this.
That's a good job. It is a good difficulty values, but the challenge is the executions. Awesome. Awesome. As coach. Bakit down ang pakiramdam ni Nasor?
Very pleased with that, and he should be
14.166, yes.
6-6.
Gold medal.
Nazar Chipurni,
Great job.
high difficulty.
I think he will be the gold medal here.
Half a mark goes into the gold medal position.
Maybe kasi
Two remain.
the two people remaining are
Moore
newbie.
and Matteo Giubalini currently
If they will perform well, then they can challenge.
Of Turkey, the fourth best performer
19 years old only.
qualifying with a score of 13.266. Just 19. He's from the Konak district of Izmir, like so many of the
Nice one.
leading national team gymnasts.
Good executions. Good one. Adjustment deductions for that. No, alright. Deductions. Good job.
Right on the straddle front somersault. Smooth looking Babsar as well.
That's awesome. Straight line, very straight. And the twos are well pointed.
Lots of calm and assured work here. And a
Wow.
nice dismount with a small
Yun lang.
diagonal back step.
Step na sa likudan. 2 steps. Deduction sayang
Years
lang.
ago, he was the junior
Still good.
Balkan all-around champion. Won it in Istanbul.
Uh-huh.
And some of you may remember him from the parallel bars final at the Varna World Challenge Cup last year. Also made the final in Baku this year, finishing 6th as he did in Bulgaria. Lots of cleanliness. Difficulty is a little contrast to the likes of Chipurni. But you would always expect a young gymnast to be working to bolster difficulty rather than to be overperforming.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than seeing skills that lack safety, that lack precision. Far better to see excellent rudiments.
Very excellent. Great job. Let's see for this one newcomer too.
One more gymnast to go. And then we will have clarity on the podium.
Yeah, Turkey. A Turkey national. Hello. Um, let's read the Turkey, the score. To Altan Dogan, 13.6. It's a good one.
Over 3/10 from qualification
In
for
his fourth
Altan Dogan.
position.
He's in fourth place.
From Slovenia, Kevin George Buckley.
Kevin George Buckley from Slovenia.
20 years old.
Sixth best in qualifying with a score of 12.8.
Sixth best in
The
qualifications.
lowest qualifying difficulty score for the final, but it was performed with a degree of crispness that assured his place in the top 8. Very much the way that he went about winning the silver medal on rings at the Osijek World Challenge Cup last year.
Awesome.
Remains a clean and crisp display here.
Ay, sayang! Ouch!
Fortunate. He was so nearly there.
Sayang.
That was lovely to watch until the very last moments where regrettably he was only a fraction away from what would have been a
1 whole point
distance.
deduction. So silver medal for Jesse Moore, gold for Nasser Sherponi.
Still only 20. Father is from Ireland, his mother from Slovenia. Parents met in Slovenia and he was born and raised there, but every Christmas he goes back to Ireland. So feels a very strong connection to both nations. But very much raised in Slovenia, so for him it was an easy decision as to which country to represent.
I think he is having his training in Great Britain. Awesome job. Oh, yun lang talaga. Sayang, oh. Ang linis sa mga executions niya.
Almost. The last score is about to come in. Then we'll be moving back to the women's competition and the floor final.
$12.166.
12.166, the score for Kevin George Buckley, indicative of how high that score might have been
Yeah.
when you consider that he lost a full mark at the conclusion, because that was only about 3/4 down from the preliminary round.
Podium ceremony will be later.
To come. And a narrow victory for Nazar Chipurni. The classified results in the men's parallel bars competition.
Yeah. Ito yung result.
bronze medal was won by Matteo Giubilini.
Wow, congratulations, Mateo.
Switzerland, silver won by Jesse Moore of Australia for his first World Cup.
Giubilini is the third bronze.
Matteo Giubilini and Nazar Cheponi of Ukraine. Winning
Wow,
the
congratulations,
gold
Giubilini.
over Jesse Moore. It was going to have to be very good to beat the Australian, and it was.
Nag-improve si Jesse Moore. Palaban niya execution.